Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-binaries, and transgenders, because we don't discriminate. This is the Ultra Heelz Wrestling Podcast, live from Bravery Studios, Clifton, New Jersey. I am Darth Messiah, the Dark Side Savior, always and forever on his worst behavior. Mr. DM, find me your mama's DMs. Why? Because I'm trying to give your mama a baby. Nobody can stop me. And the OG, the triple OG of the Ultra Heelz.
Let me take this in like Gold does it. It's your boy Alex, the motherfucking Hill, a.k.a. the Stanley of podcasting, a.k.a. the leader of the fuck the Mr. McMahon regime and fuck the revolt. Why? Because they lost their belts and they're trash. McMahon and put your girl to cripple a cross face and leave her run into a cross face.
Word. And the man that doesn't always push buttons, but when he do, he pushes all the buttons. Mr. Gnarly Marv.
Marv need a girl moaning, so we say he pushed all the buttons. We don't push the button. He do push all the buttons. Oh, hold up. Wrong button. Sorry.
Yeah, I see. Yes, sir. What up, Ultra Heelz?
How you living, Gnarly Marv?
Living good, man. Living good. Living Mondo righteous.
Yeah, you know me. I told you. I'm waiting for my food to show up so a nigga can eat. I've been in the house all day. I ain't go to work today.
So everybody does not have a PS5, right?
Nope.
Right? No.
I don't.
If I had a PS5, y'all would have photos of me naked on the bed next to it, like Terry Crews and pictures.
Like Michael Jackson on the Thriller cover, but naked.
What? If the PS5 had been in front of me, that'd have been my only white and black suit like him.
That's a classic pose.
Yeah.
Classic pose. We got Commissioner Kelvin in the chat. What up, good people? It's Commissioner Kelvin, the underboss, the guy who had the most charisma, the most WWE superstars. R.I.P. Eddie Guerrero.
Viva la raza!
It's your homeboy X-Man Damn. It's not a sham or a scam. It's the real X-Man Damn on Instagram. Follow me, fam.
Yep.
Mr. Off the Ladder with a weak bladder. Mr. Off the Turnbuckle with a bloody knuckle.
Keep going.
Mr. $5 Phillip. Mr. Meal for two, but it's really for one.
Say
I'm
what?
Smack Power watching SmackDown. Can I use your WWE information?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Razor Cabron, Mr. Pipe Wrench, Leave a Wet Drench,
Oh my.
Mr. Show Me the Facts, Man Damn. And how's my Ultra Heel fan?
Pretty damn good. Now, one of the things Jim Cornette always gets slack for is being super traditional and not respecting the new school. Now, one thing people don't realize, Jim Cornette has worked with a vast amount of the quote-unquote indie crowd.
Yep.
He basically, as the title of the show is titled, he's fathered the indie movement from all the people he's worked with.
Basically.
Now, if you want to go through his Jim Cornette's career, he started working in wrestling at 14 years old in 1975.
Damn.
He was a photographer for Continental Wrestling, which worked out of Memphis. 1982, he was like 22, 23 years old. He got an actual in-ring job. He was a manager. His first appearance was in the Jerry Lawler versus Ric Flair match. Jerry Jarrett was the booker, the father of Jeff Jarrett, who that part will be important later in Jim Cornette's career. 1983, he went to Mid-South. That's where he met up with the Rock and Roll Express. That's where that whole thing came together. 1984, he worked in World Class Championship Wrestling, which is in Texas. 1985, he worked in Jim Crockett Promotions, which later became WCW. He's managed against, really recognizable managers like Jimmy Hart, Paul Ellering, Paul E. Dangerously, a.k.a. Paul Heyman. He's done commentary basically everywhere he's gone. He's worked with Jim Ross. He's worked with Tony Schiavone. His time in WWE, he worked with Vince McMahon on commentary. In 1991 is where he really began to train people, because that's where he started his own promotion, Smoky Mountain Wrestling in Louisville. And while he was running that company, he had a talent trade with both WCW and WWF. He was able to bring in Mark Calloway, a.k.a. The Undertaker, Chris Candido, Terry Funk. He had the Hardy Boys before they were the Hardy Boys. I forgot what their names were back then. He had Owen Hart, Chris Jericho, the Unabomber, which is Glenn Jacobs, aka Kane. He had Bob.
Still was a weird name at that time.
Yeah, he had the Steiner brothers. He had Randy Savage, Jake Roberts, the 1 2 3 Kid, who became known as X-Pac. So those were like cutting edge people at that time. 1 2 3 Kid, Chris Jericho, Owen Hart. They were the cutting edge people of their generation. They weren't the traditional 80s, 70s kind of wrestler. They were cutting edge then. And what was it? Like late 90s, Jim Cornette started working. All right. Late 90s, Jim Cornette started working full-time with WWF backstage. He again came back to work with Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. And he main evented WrestleMania, what was that, 9? He was in the main event of WrestleMania as Yokozuna's American, I don't know. He was like a second manager because Yokozuna also had Mr. Fuji. But anyway, Jim Cornette's been in the main event of WrestleMania more than a lot of people that hate on Jim Cornette in the wrestling industry can say. They've never been in the main event of WrestleMania, but he has. Everybody knows about Jim Cornette's love-hate relationship with Vince Russo. That comes from
I don't think there's no love there, bro. I think it's just hate.
He loves to hate him. How about that?
Oh,
He loves to hate him. Yeah. That comes from their time together in WWF on the booking committee. Trying to go through my notes as fast as possible. I took a lot of notes. Okay, here's where we get to the modern wrestling. Jim Cornette, he got to the point where he was so sick of Vince Russo, he took the first job in WWE to get him away from Connecticut. That was going to work in OVW, because at the time, OVW was the training territory for WWF. Jim Cornette is responsible for giving you the class of John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, Brock Lesnar, and the fifth man everybody forgets about, Shelton Benjamin.
He's pretty much responsible for this whole generation of wrestlers.
Is. That's what Jim Cornette is responsible for. He trained all of them. Well, he helped train. He wasn't, physically in the ring training them because he's not a wrestler.
Yeah.
But he's responsible for putting them with the right people to get them, through their career.
Gotcha.
Yes. 2006, Jim Cornette went to TNA. He worked with AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Gail Kim, Samoa Joe. And what made Jim Cornette leave TNA? Vince Russo showed up.
Yep.
So he runs into Vince Russo twice. 2009, Jim Cornette goes to Ring of Honor. He is the executive producer of the company. He's the one that fostered the Sinclair broadcasting deal that got them on national television. So without Jim Cornette, Ring of Honor is still just an indie company. They don't have national television. He worked with Michael Bennett, Claudio Castagnoli, who we know as Cesaro, Christopher Daniels again. He worked with Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, Tyler Black, who we know as Seth Rollins. He hired the Young Bucks. Everybody doesn't realize Jim Cornette hired the Young Bucks in Ring of Honor. Let that sink in.
Man, been around the world.
Let that sink in. He hired the Young Bucks to Ring of Honor. Also, I don't think he hired Kenny Omega, but he was there when Kenny Omega showed up. He worked with Chris Hero, who we know as Cassius Ohno, Kevin Steen, Adam Page, Joey Ryan, who he hates, but he worked with him back in ROH. Who else did he work? Oh, El Generico, a.k.a. Sami Zayn. You know how when El Generico, he was like a mute, he didn't talk, he just wrestled or whatever? Jim Cornette is the one that told Sami Zayn, lose the mask, talk, you're an excellent promo. What do we say now in 2019, 2020? Sami Zayn is a great promo.
What is he?
And he didn't want to talk in 2009, and Jim Cornette was telling him to talk.
That's fucking crazy that this man's literally been around that damn long.
Yes.
With that much shit. Why do we have Vince McMahon again anyway?
Exactly. Why do we have Vince McMahon, and why does the indie crowd hate Jim Cornette so much when he's given all of your greatest, indie talents advice and things to make them better? Just because he's set in a certain way He still tried to help these people, and they've rejected him. Of recent, 2019, when he was doing commentary for MLW, he worked with MJF. He worked with Alexander Hammerstone, Brian Pillman Jr., Davey Boy Smith Jr. When he was working with NWA, he was working with Eli Drake and James Storm and Ricky Starks, Nick Aldis. He's been everywhere and he's done everything in the wrestling industry. Yet he is vilified, hated by anything and everything not tied to the 1980s.
He has a strong personality. I think that's what comes off when you hear him speak. Like,
he's passionate.
He's very passionate.
He's passionate because, again, he started working in wrestling at 14 years old as a photographer, and his mom worked the merchandise tables.
Yeah.
So you've been doing, and he's he's got to be in his late 50s now. So he's been working in wrestling for 40-something years. You think he knows something.
Yeah, definitely.
He knows a little something to be around that long.
And he knows a lot of the simple fact that if he could sit there and tell you how he wanted to kill Vince Russo for fucking them niggas' livelihood for the brawl for all, you know that man was about that life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the other story. Jim Cornette is responsible for the Montreal Screwjob. That one too. That was his whole idea. Because going into that match, Vince couldn't get Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart to agree on a finish. And just in the booking meeting, he said, why don't we do a double cross? And Vince Russo was sitting on the other side of the table. It's like, what's a double cross? Because, he's not, familiar with, old school wrestling. So Jim Cornette laid out the whole situation to Vince McMahon. It didn't go exactly how Jim Cornette said it would go, because it didn't involve Vince McMahon being ringside and getting spit on and then punched out backstage. But it went kind of, it was in the area of how he described it should go, if you go listen to the episode of his podcast. And Undertaker also verified Jim Cornette's story. So if Undertaker said it was a real story, then I'm going to go with it. However, I forgot whose podcast Undertaker was on. Oh, no, he was on ESPN recently. He said that the whole Montreal Screwjob could have been avoided if they had come to him and said, let me take the belt off of Bret Hart going into that pay-per-view. And then he said, I'll drop it to Shawn whenever you want me to drop it to Shawn.
Yeah, it would have been really simple if he didn't like that, because he just didn't want to drop it to Shawn.
Yep. So yeah.
And a whole screw job that led into a whole bullshit that led into a whole WrestleMania between two old men. Yep. And Bret beating the hell out of Vince with a steel chair. So it was fun times.
Yeah.
Fun times back there.
Yes. So that is the history of Jim Cornette and why he's so important to modern wrestling. And people don't realize it, and they refuse to accept it. Well, also, they don't accept it because they don't know about it, because they don't do their research. But that's another story.
That's a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother story. But yeah, like I said, probably the biggest one, he hired the Young Bucks. Jim Cornette hired the Young Bucks to Ring of Honor. Just let that sink in, and we'll move on.
We're going to get Edge, the rated R superstar. And I really feel like that just, to me, sounds like now you're about to push it too hard than what it was.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of worried, because when you push it too hard, that's when you got Edge to not be there the first time to be retired. You pushed him too hard to do some shit instead of letting him wrestle the way he's been wrestling now. Because I'm not gonna lie, his moveset now when he came back, especially that submission move, I said, bro, he's wrestling the safest he can without making sure he's going to be ended up back home forever again. And now you want him to be the Edge he was when he left 9 years ago? That sounds like a whole thing of a disaster that I really don't want to see.
You look at. I was thinking about this earlier today. Think about the tag teams from the Ruthless Aggression era. The Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian. The Dudley Boys are in the best physical shape of all of them. Even though Bubba Ray's been out of shape and overweight most of his career. Devon's mad muscular, but he never looked like an athlete. He just looked like a guy that went to the gym, did chest and arms, no cardio, no legs. He just did chest and arms all the
Facts.
time. That's what Devon looks like. He doesn't look like an athlete. He just
He
goes
walks in like this.
Yeah. And then you got Matt and Jeff. Jeff, he just looked like some kid off the street that did stupid shit. Matt was a little
did a little line of coke before he got ready for his match every night.
Yeah. And then Edge and Christian were probably in the best physical shape out of all 6 of them. They're the ones that looked like the professional wrestler should look. They had the body for it. But they're the ones that had to retire from injury.
They made it more weird.
Exactly.
Because they hardly had any hardcore matches more than the Hardy Boys did putting their body on line against like Eminem, the Dudleys, anybody else. And then the Dudleys just came to ECW. These motherfuckers took full chair shots for real for majority of their life.
Yeah.
And all 4 of these guys would still wrestle. But the 2 dudes that was like the safest are the 2 dudes that had to retire.
Yeah, that's weird. That clicked in my mind earlier today. And speaking of sitting gorilla, how about all the people that got fired backstage at WWE?
Bro, they're calling it the darkest day in wrestling history.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
It is. It's so bad. It's so bad now. And now that they what was it? It's so much shit is going down, so much shit is happening that so many events are closing that it's like the first time in years some events are closing now. And it's starting to get like worse as time go on. And now just letting go that many wrestlers, it's just Jesus Christ, dude. They let go so many people that actually was entertaining and actually worked and did anything they wanted and kept people like they shouldn't have. Lana, sorry.
Yeah, that's weird that Rusev got fired and Lana's still there.
I have a theory that he's just bitter over having to close down the XFL again. So he fired everybody.
Well, okay, here's the thing about the XFL.
Bankruptcy.
Yeah, let me explain the XFL situation. Vince McMahon sold personal stocks, not company stocks. He sold personal stock investments to get the $300 million to restart the XFL. So it doesn't affect WWE money whatsoever.
Nah, I know. I just think it's a pride thing.
Of course, he's a businessman. You have to cut your losses. You always find a way to recoup your losses when you're that type of businessman.
Another XFL in 20 years? What do you think?
No, he'll be dead by then. Thank God.
And the sad thing is, the XFL was actually fucking good this time around.
The Corona.
Exactly.
It was the Corona. It's not even his fault.
Like the one time Vince could have like recouped from the first XFL is the one time a world pandemic happens and then he has to go bankruptcy for the shit. Like this is his one shot to actually get it.
He was in a room like, damn, I can't win with this. Football don't want me.
Yeah. He's just not meant to run a football league.
Yo, it's so funny.
For him to run a real football league, he would have to step down from his position and then just focus on the football league with a whole bunch of other people.
Like we were hoping was going to happen.
Would have been nice.
We were hoping that was going to happen, but it didn't work out that way.
Hey, football would have kept going. It probably would have because it was bringing in more ratings than Raw and SmackDown could.
Yeah, it was because the opening week of XFL, that Saturday. Between the 2 games, they averaged like 3.4 million viewers. Oh, I finally caught up on Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh, nice. About time.
Well, I didn't see this week's episode, which was what, Jimmy Snuka?
Yeah.
And I didn't see Benoit Part 2, but I know most of Benoit's story, so it's not that much of a loss.
Damn, so you
I got a picture to send you, Marv. You're gonna love it.
What's up?
I followed Dark Side Behind the Ring, and then I followed one of the guys that helped create the show.
Uh-huh.
And I was scrolling through his timeline on Twitter, and he has a picture of they're talking about the Brawl for All. So he's talking like he got a picture with Butterbean. He got a picture with what do you call it? What's his name? They got nothing about Butterbean. Bart Gunn. But he has a picture of the Godfather sitting at his table, pouring Jack into 6 shot glasses.
Damn. That's
and I said, "Oh my God, this is more background screen for life right here."
Send me that, bro. Send me that. Yo, I love Godfather.
Speaking of the Brawl for All, who was it that was talking? Jim Cornette. He was talking about how it actually originated on his podcast. So, because he wasn't allowed to speak about it before the episode come out.
Yeah.
Vince Russo didn't come up with the Brawl for All.
Oh, he lied?
Yeah, of course Vince Russo fucking lied. Well, he kept saying that it was about
Bradshaw.
It was about Bradshaw. Now, that's what the boys do in the locker room. Oh, nobody can fuck me up. I'll whoop everybody's ass in here. Now, Vince Russo, who's a fucking outsider, knows, even though he was in the wrestling business, writing wrestling, he'd never been in a locker room. So he hears the guys, just bullshitting and thinks they're serious.
Yeah, this would be the origin of it. This would be
Just
it.
think of Vince Russo, I swear.
Vince Russo thought it was real. Thought like, oh, Bradshaw needs his ass whooped. Let's have this whole thing.
Oh, man.
No, it was good for the time. Yeah. Now that you know the dark side part of it, you're like, damn, nigga, that shit was fucked up.
Yeah.
Of an affair.
Was there anything good that Vince Russo did that you think he deserves credit for?
Writing for the wrestling magazines back then.
Yeah, because the more we go forward in history now, and the more people that speak out against Vince Russo, he was just a fucking mark that got in with the right people, and he fucked the wrestling industry up.
Bro, I heard that he might have created the New Age Outlaws, though, which would be a good thing on his part.
Okay, yeah.
But other than that, I've never heard anything else good come out of him.
I can kind of see him creating the New Age Outlaws as a team, and then they let it run forward because they was kind of based off of like the here and now at that point of their life. Like while everything else in the Attitude Era was like basically just trying to copy what was happening around them.
Yeah,
New Age Outlaws seemed like something that was like, hey, look, you got motherfuckers around here walking around with braids. You got niggas around here telling you to kiss their ass and do whatever the fuck they wanted while they make a tag team doing what niggas are doing for real, for real.
Well, they were cowboys and a country singer before they got teamed up.
Yeah.
So I know. And then they had to move to the times of rock, grunge, and rap. So,
exactly.
Why not?
Now, during that episode on the Brawl for All, Vince Russo talked about how him and his sidekick, Ed Ferrara, he didn't mention him by name, but his sidekick, Ed Ferrara, they would sit in the writer's room and watch Jerry Springer and try to turn Jerry Springer into wrestling.
Yep. That's what he said.
That was the downfall right there.
Yeah.
It was downfall, but at the same time, Jerry Springer was the hottest thing on television
but
next to wrestling.
Think about it like this. When Jerry Springer was really good, Jerry Springer was real. It was a quote-unquote, it was a shoot. What is the best wrestling? When it looks like a shoot. It got to the point over time in the late 90s, early 2000s where Jerry Springer, it became a work. They basically set these situations up.
They did.
They took people's situations and just blew it out of proportion to make it basically was wrestling. It was a work.
But they they're not really cool like that. Well, now they are
now.
They wasn't that cool.
That whole family wasn't cool for a long time. Cause like Dusty and Goldust didn't talk for years.
Yeah, I heard him talk about that.
It wasn't until Dusty came back to WWE that him and Goldust started talking again.
That was a dope storyline where they fought the Shield and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they hadn't spoke for years. Because
drugs.
Yeah, basically the drugs, yeah. So he was like the shame of the family or whatever. And then Cody just couldn't live up to anything. So
he tried, but they kept shitting on him.
I really liked the end of the what was it, the masked Cody Dust?
When he had the mask,
yeah.
And he was like, bag that person, and he was putting bags over people.
I love that.
They killed that.
Was fun.
I didn't like the dashing one when he had the
mirror and
yeah,
shit.
no, I like
mustache.
that. I like that.
The porn star mustache. I didn't like the porn star mustache.
I thought that was fun.
No, the mustache was after dashing.
It was?
Dashing was first, where he kept, this is how you clean your face. And he did all of that shit in the back, and then he come out with the mirror on his jacket and be like, yeah, that was dashing. Then he got beat up where his face was broken. That's when he became that one. Yeah. Then he grew the mustache and did Rhodes Scholars.
Yeah, Rhodes Scholars was my shit.
The mustache was for Rhodes Scholars, okay.
And then he had that cool fucking briefcase.
Oh, that was
Damien.
Yeah, the first CrossFit Jesus.
Jesus.
Because Seth Rollins is CrossFit Jesus.
Yeah.
He Damon Sandow also looked like CrossFit Jesus.
I hope he comes back.
I'm sorry, Impact killed his character.
Yeah, isn't he trying to be like a legit actor now?
Yeah, I can't take him seriously anymore after what he did in Impact.
He should have never went there.
Yeah, that didn't do him no favors.
My name is Alex.
Oh, I also love Stardust. I loved Stardust. I get they
while.
tried to bury him with it, but once he made it work, I loved it.
It took
It
me
had
a
to
while.
grow on me.
Yeah. The cartwheel and shit.
Yeah.
Then once he started like really getting into it, it was like, this is all right. It's not that
Yeah,
bad.
because he got it over, so
Yeah.
it was cool.
I got a quick question about Bailey.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I like her theme song, right? That shit popping, especially when you saw.
I know where you're going. Continue.
Do you think they're gonna distort her song or give her a whole new song?
It'd be better to just give her a whole new
Because I
one.
can't see her come out to that like, and she angry. Like, you gotta change it. And also, I think she should let her hair down. No more ponytail.
No more.
That's face Bailey. You gotta hit that dye your shit blue.
But like, I don't want.
They both matching. You notice that they got matching gear, right?
Yeah, they did wear matching gear on SmackDown.
Caked up. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, Bailey got the cakes too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want Bailey to go like full goth girl though. That'd be really weird.
I think
No,
what she's
that's
gonna do
perfect.
is
Goth chick. Yeah, that's perfect for Bailey.
I don't think she's gonna go goth. I think like her clothes are just gonna be like darker red or some shit like that, and no shit around her eyes. Like she's just gonna be straight. Yo, I'm here to fuck you up with my friend, and we gonna be dancing.
We're gonna twerk it out.
They probably will. Make them
Baby,
do
we
that.
gonna twerk.
All right,
it
Bailey.
out.
You and Sasha need to go to the ring and twerk every time you win. Damn it. What? Really? Yes.
Yes.
You're fired.
Moving on.
Still better than Saxon.
Anybody's better than Saxton.
You know Saxon's going to
This
be...
empty
He's
bottle.
gotten
This empty
better.
bottle is better than Byron
Will
Saxton.
you guys stop it? He's gotten better.
No, he hasn't.
He has. Compared to
I
how he
want-
was before.
Bring back Shucky Ducky Quack Quack.
We believe in what you're saying, but the people on Twitter and fans don't believe in what
I
you're saying.
understand, but
I'll
I
take
was one of
Shucky
those
Ducky
people.
Quack Quack over Byron Saxton any day.
Listen, I was one of
Yeah,
those
bro.
people, but remember Saxton in like 2015, 2016? He was super trash because he just wouldn't talk.
I'll take back David Otunga.
I'm kind of with him on that.
He wouldn't talk
And
in
David
2015,
Otunga
2016.
disappears for 20 minutes at a time on the show.
He'd be like, yeah, guys, that happened. That was crazy.
At least he's talking more. Can we at least give him credit for that? He's
No.
talking
No,
more.
I can't
No.
give credit for it. You know why I can give credit for it? The only reason he's talking more is because Corey Graves isn't on his ass like he was before. They made Corey Graves step back after that whole shit with him and Carmella. That's the only reason
there
why.
Was no other choice.
That's the reason why. Because before that, every time Saxton would say something, Corey would get on that ass and then he'd just be quiet. I was like, damn, you gotta keep ripping this nigga. And then soon he found shit, I bet Saxton looking at him like, say something. I'm a fucking
He's
gay up.
probably too busy stalking Nia Jax on Twitter.
First of all, do he
He
still
did
stalk her?
like.
No,
Nia
no,
Jax
he still
on-
stalks her.
I was gonna say, do he still
and tries
stalk
to sniff her panties. But that's another story.
Hey, first of all, that ride along, that shit was weird.
Wait, what ride along?
There's a ride along with
It's Nia Jax,
it's
Corey
Nia-
Graves, and Todd Phillips.
Yeah, and they're driving, and she's explaining to them how much Baron Saxton's in love with her, and they're like, "We kind of feel he like you." She said, "No, he's in love with me," and she calls him on the phone speaker, right? He picks up the phone,
And he just starts kicking game off the rip.
It literally sounds like they've been dating for like 10 years. How you talking to her? But she's not saying a damn thing. She yeah.
And he's like,
No.
"Oh, you should come over. My mother wants to talk to you.
Like,
she wants to make you dinner."
Yeah, but my mom makes you dinners. You should just try to slide through. She was like, "Well, your mom?" He was like, "Yeah, I told her about you. I told her that I had a thing for you." And,
Are you
serious? And you see Corey Graves him like in the front seat like.
That
the
sounds
fuck
like
is
the guy that
happening?
might
And the whole time she didn't tell him that Corey and Todd Phillips are in the car with her.
And then she hangs
They
up,
probably
and
are
then
hollering
and
in
then
the
she and then she hangs up the
background.
phone, and then Corey and them look at each other and go, "We did not expect that." I was like, I didn't expect that shit either.
He
Like,
told his mom about her.
first of all,
And they've never gone on a date.
when she called him and he picked up the phone, and she said, "Hey," he picked up the phone and started speaking game immediately. There was no hey, no how you doing. She was like,
That
"Hey,
literally
Saxton." He was
sounds
like,
like
"Hey, how
my
you doing,
week.
beautiful?" And he just went to go, and I was like, "Damn,
Literally sounds like my week. I already told you that.
yo, week.
Situation.
That sounds like every day since I met you."
No, definitely.
How many
not.
guys fall in love with you that don't even know your name?
I don't know, and I'd rather not know. I'd rather not know.
You would like to know these numbers. So just in case you need a new car, at least you got some crazy ideas, want to spend the money to never meet you.
I've always wanted someone to be in my DMs like, I'll give you like $1,000 for feet.
SOS. Feeling something.
I was like, I don't know what version of the song is that. That dude, I was like, SO. He said, I was like,
Feeling something. What?
what
What are we feeling?
was this the promo music before they did the final?
I'd never heard that one before. SOS, he's feeling something. Trouble in Paradise kick. That's what he's feeling. Like, I don't want no sauce with that one. It's SOS. I hear them shouting. Jesus. Feeling something. That sound like it was starting to be a porn for a minute.
I never knew the words.
I see. You threw me off. I was like, SOS, I'm feeling something. Wait a minute. I don't remember that being that lyric in that song. Jesus Christ. I swear.
Why do you feel? I feel like you're low-key offended. Like
I kind of was. Cause I know the full words to that song, and he just threw me all off. I was thinking in my head too, and he's like,
"This is okay," and then
that's like
Alex is like, "No."
That's like you saying your favorite rap song, and you think you know the word, and then somebody come along and actually say the real word. You looking at them like that. Oh, that's how it goes.
That's like when freaking T-Pain corrected the song the apple bottom. No, not that one. The other one.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it, but I know what you're talking about. When he finally corrected him, and he said, "This is what I'm saying," and then everybody played, and it was like, "Nah, nigga, you're not saying that." I'm like, "But he the man that wrote the song."
That Jennifer Lopez song, and then it's like, "Are you ready?" And it's really they said R-U-L-E, but it's actually "Are you ready?"
Yeah. I was like, "What the fuck are y'all niggas getting these lyrics from?" Like, at that time, there was websites that told you the complete lyrics, and people were still saying the shit like they wanted to. I was like, "I'm confused."
The thing is, you can edit the website and make it whatever you want.
Not some of them. Some of them were legit music websites when songs came out.
I'm talking about like 10 years ago.
No, some of them, no.
Oh, back then?
No, there was some website that just had the complete lyrics because you can even hit the play on the music right then and there, and they would just line up the things for what it was saying. But I don't understand some people fucking up some of these songs. Like, hell, some people was fucking up some WWE songs. Like, they didn't know the word to something. They would just come up with something else. And I'd be sitting looking at them when they start singing this, and I'd be like, what in the fuck wrestling song are you singing?
It's like Randy Orton's like old theme song.
Oh, I hated that song.
Nothing you
Yo,
can say.
let me tell you right now.
Nothing,
After that part right there, everybody they start humming the words. I'd be like, what words are they? They'd be looking at me like, I know the words, so say it. Like nobody, people couldn't sing that. A lot of people knew Triple H, the game one, just the beginning. But after the bow down to the, and then the words came after that, they'd be like, bow down to the game, and then don't see you hear the word behind it, and they'd be like, dun 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 dun. Like, why are you singing the beat? You don't know the rest of the words.
I don't like the King King's version. I don't like the King King version.
I forgot how to start, but I know you're talking about. I know the words too.
It has the same start. And then,
it's like I'm the King of Kings, and then it's like
Behold
on your
the
knees
King.
or something.
Oh,
the King of Kings.
Let me say right now, in 2K16 and 15, that was my theme song. When I came out, I was the king of my goddamn game. I was the champion of all champions.
I hate the King of Kings version.
You know another song now people don't know the words to? Shelter Benjamin song.
How do you?
I don't even know
everybody
how
knows
it
start off,
goes.
ain't no stopping me now. And that's everybody knows. The rest of the words after it, I read the whole lyrics and I was like, this song don't sound half bad. Why don't nobody know the words? Why they never played it? Like Kane. Remember Kane had that long thing?
Oh,
and then it's just, boom, I'm on the ride. I was like, there's a word? I was like, where the hell did this shit get words? They was like, it always had words. I was like, so this has been looping the beginning? Wow, I feel so stupid my whole life. Then I got in WWE, the last 2K. They had it, and I just hit the play button, let it play. I was like, this song's actually kind of lit. I said, now I don't want to hear him talk no more. I just want him let him play his whole full music. Yep. That or go back old school with the old Kane outfit when he came out with the cape.
I think the only song that people know faithfully is like Bobby Roode's. Like,
because there's one word.
Literally.
That I will be here, and I will be here. And I was like, yo, why didn't you know the words to this song?
I know most of AJ Styles. I know most of Sasha.
Yeah.
To be honest, when Sasha music play, my brain goes.
Well, actually, I probably don't know Sasha anymore because I don't really listen to that one anymore.
Shinsuke new theme, the Japanese one. I know that.
I don't know. I don't speak Japanese.
I know the English translation because someone on YouTube has it in Japanese, and then the people that did it actually did an English version of it too. Wow. And I was like, I did not know the English version, and I listened to the English, and I was like, this song is popping either in Japanese or English. This shit is just kind of weird. I like that song. I kind of like what you call Edge original theme. Because Edge theme was longer.
You think you know me?
Yeah, like that. That's just a loop. But the rest of the song is long as hell. It's like 2 minutes or 7 seconds. Stone Cold's original theme before he became Austin 316 when he Ted DiBiase. For some reason, I know the words to that all the way up until he became Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then all of a sudden, I stopped knowing the words. All I know is glass shatter and dun 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 dun. That's all I know. Like it just bothers me that my brain stopped knowing the song.
Cody Rhodes, I Am Perfection. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, if nobody's gonna ask, my week was fabulous. Of course.
What did you do, sir?
Shout out to ex Madame. Of course, this month she's got me the new Pro Wrestling Crate.
I think she's a keeper.
Oh yeah, of course. She was a keeper since day one, man. It's been a blessing, yes. Shout out to the Pro Wrestling Tees and ProWrestlingTees.com, where they gave me an excellent, delightful box here, which I'm going to present to you. First on the list, which I'm going to put on right now, is the most beautiful Kenny Omega shirt I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, Omega Man X?
Omega Man X.
That's an older shirt, but it's still pretty cool.
That's an awesome shirt, man. That's awesome.
Lit.
Shout out to Kenny Omega being a nerd.
Shout out to Kenny Olivier.
Kenny Olivier.
Then we got Micro Brawlers of Bret Hart.
Micro Brawlers gets me every time.
It's pretty lit.
It looks just like him.
It does.
Well, not anymore.
Well, yeah, he looks pretty bad now.
He's pretty bad. So shout out to that chick Bilar in the chat. Oh, definitely a keeper. Shout out to Bilar.
It's that chick Belair.
Oh,
and she's definitely a keeper. So anyway, this month's crate is themed by Canada.
Okay.
So then we got a
Edge.
Rated R Superstar Edge T-shirt, which is pretty cool. We'll see him this Sunday at the Royal Rumble.
Allegedly.
Nobody knows.
I mean,
so,
let's be real. At this point, he posted a picture of him with gear in a hotel room. So,
oh yeah, of course.
So it's pretty obvious he's going to be there.
Let's get the people talking. Yes. Then we got this beautiful pin of Kevin Steen.
it's glossy.
Yeah.
Tilt it a little bit. Vertically.
There you go.
There you go. Oh, nice.
That's
Nice. Very nice.
Where the fuck is my camera, dude? What the fuck?
No, you got it on camera. It's there.
It's pretty lit.
Yeah.
It says Steen on his forehead. Comes with this awesome DVD that I can't wait to watch.
Oh, Canada's
finest.
Is that Les Champions?
We got here a young great Les Champion. Looks like pre WWE. We got PCO. We got Roddy Piper. Owen Hart.
I thought Roddy Piper was from Scotland.
Well, his gimmick is from Scotland.
Yeah. We also have a comic book by Christian Cage, a.k.a. Christian.
Oh, I guess he put it out during TNA days.
The Road.
It's pretty cool. It's called The Road. Yes. And then this month's autograph is none other than Tyson Kidd.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's Madame.
The least important Canadian wrestler ever.
But he's actually one of my favorites. To
really?
be honest.
Okay.
His run, just because his run in NXT, that's why. Because he really did it big on NXT, and he was putting on a lot of great matches with Tyler Breeze and Pac.
Adrian Neville.
Let me put this beautiful shirt on. Hold
Yo,
on.
we got Jets in the chat here.
Yeah.
Shout out to the BX Borough.
And then we had the AEW Championship #1 contendership match for the AEW Heavyweight Championship from Le Champion, Chris Jericho.
The bastard Pac.
John Moxley defeated the bastard Pac. And after the match, Chris Jericho showed up and at his entrance. And the crowd was going wild, of course, because it's the Jericho Rager SC, and everybody's just Judas out.
Yeah, they were singing that shit loud.
Kept singing it when the song went out.
Yeah, even when it stopped, they kept singing.
Damn, man. We're gonna have to go to this next year.
You are beautiful on the inside. You are
You know that song came out in
innocence
2017?
personified. Yeah, because it was on like 2 albums ago.
Yeah. And it's fucking massive right now.
And I will drag you down and sell you out.
Can I have a ding 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 over here?
Away. I am cold black December snow. I have carved out this soul made of stone. That's enough for tonight. On page, you can obviously pay her to shoot a custom video. Somebody asked for her to take a shit and record it.
What?
And she gave him, some jerk off encouragement as she filmed herself taking a dump.
All right. I think I could leave the show now. I'm done.
Well, I think this is probably our best and worst show ever.
Commissioner Kelvin in the chat said, "Ew, what is up?" Is the commissioner who runs the place?
Shout out to the commissioner. How you doing, Calvin?
You want to know
that
where
was
I found this?
disgusting.
You want to know where I found this? On Jim Cornette podcast.
Oh.
Yesterday's episode, he played the entire 6-minute audio clip on his podcast.
Holy shit.
For 6 minutes, she's taking a dump, and encouraging some guy to beat his meat. For 6 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long video. I was like, what the hell?
And then the thing is, I can't find the actual video. I can only find the audio.
No comment.
No comment. All right.
That's all I can say.
We'll move on from that topic. But we'll stay on Tessa Blanchard. Probably the biggest thing that happened in the last week. Tessa Blanchard is now the Impact World Heavyweight Champion.
Really?
You haven't been paying attention to Impact? Well, neither have
I haven't been watching. I mean, I saw the pictures that she got the title. But
yeah, she beat Sami Callihan at Hard to Kill.
when was this?
Friday night, Saturday night.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everybody's going crazy on her, like really throwing her dirt out because she's the champion.
Matter of fact, because last week we were talking about the whole bullying thing with her, where she went on Twitter and said, "Oh, can we all just be friends and get along?" Talking about the females in the wrestling industry, and then apparently everybody else came back at her saying, "Oh, you're the last person that should be talking when you try to alienate everybody and every other woman in the wrestling business."
George F in the chat said, "Oh yeah."
Oh, I see. George F likes that German scat porn.
Yes, he likes getting pooped on.
No,
Put it in the chopped cheese.
Yeah, so Tessa Blanchard's been all over the place in the last week. Bullying people on the internet, winning the world title, poop porn. Yeah, it's been a wild week for Tessa Blanchard.
That's no comment. The Impact champion.
Impact World Heavyweight Champion. Now, Booker T, on his podcast, he came out and said Tessa Blanchard winning the World Championship is the worst thing to ever happen in wrestling. Loosely. He says it's one of the worst things that ever happened.
Do you agree?
What was the context for it? What did he say? What did he say? Why?
His reason being is
because of the poop porn.
No. Because this was before the poop porn. Because I think he recorded his podcast on like Monday, and the poop porn came out yesterday, or whatever. So Booker T said, by putting your world championship on the top woman, it's okay that she's the top woman, but making her the top person, you've now devalued every other person on your roster, because you're saying every single man can't beat this one woman. Not on anything sexist, but just on a physical level. This woman's going to beat every man on your roster in a fight.
And then she's going to poop on the belt.
We had Sammy Guevara versus Jon Moxley in a number one contenders match for, well, a quarterfinals #1 contender match because the winner of this match goes on to face the winner of Pac and Darby Allin. And of course, Jon Moxley won, but it was a very decent match. But then Le Champion came out post match, and they the rest of the Inner Circle beat down Jon Moxley for refusing their hand in friendship last week.
What do you expect to happen? You steal a $70,000 vehicle?
No, he didn't steal it. They gave it to him.
They did.
They gave it to him.
But he didn't put his part of the bargain up. You know, that's technically stealing. And stealing from Chris Jericho? You know what that means? You know what that means, Mr. Darth Messiah?
You know what happens when you steal $70,000 cars from Le Champion?
Tell him.
You just made Lexicon Le Champion.
Because
we can't say the list.
La Lexicon Le Champion.
Lexicon Le Champion.
That's right on point right there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, did he stab his eye out?
No.
He stabbed his eye out,
Well, he poked him in the eye. Well, he poked him in the eye socket because that's what you do in wrestling. You poke the eye socket, not the eye.
Oh, my.
Now, the main event, Kyle O'Reilly representing Undisputed Era as a babyface. He took on Finn Balor, the Prince. And, man, this is one for the ages.
That match got called so early, and Finn Balor is the reason he called it early.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, when Kyle O'Reilly went to the turnbuckle with that knee, he fractured his jaw.
Yeah.
And when Finn Balor went to go do that little spinning back kick, he kicked Kyle O'Reilly so hard in the sternum that he almost ruptured his stomach.
Yeah.
So they both legit was injured.
Yeah. And but even after getting kicked in the stomach like that, he still took the coup de grace finish.
He did. I ain't gonna lie. Even with Finn with a fractured jaw, still took that bump or that German suplex out of the corner like it was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I laid on the ground and this never moved. Fuck this.
Yeah.
It's over.
Now, post match, we had Ridge Holland show up with Adam Cole passed out over his shoulder. And he just dropped him off on ringside and disappeared while the rest of Undisputed Era tried to do something about it.
You can see they don't want to give it Undisputed Era, so they're literally trying to get them in any feud with anybody. If it's not a group, it's a single thing. They just try to make sure they get into a feud because Triple H is trying to lose Undisputed Era to the main roster and have them show up like Sanity and everybody else.
But now Ridge Holland got hurt on NXT. I think he's fucked up his knee, right? He was carrying.
Okay. He dislocated his ankle.
Yeah.
And tore his, I think, rotator cuff in his knee.
Oh yeah, he's not going to be back next week. He's not going to be back next month. That's at least a 3-month injury.
But the sad thing is they popped the ankle back in place, and he went into surgery yesterday morning. And they said the doctors will determine how long he'll be out for. But they said it don't look like it's something that he'll be out for a very long time because I don't think he tore a muscle off the bone like how Triple H and everybody else did. I think he just basically tore one tendon in it.
Right.
That should heal a lot faster than tearing the whole entire thing off the damn bone.
I don't honestly. Well, from what I hear in most sports, legitimate sports, usually tearing the whole thing is better than tearing part of it because at least they can put the whole thing back together instead of trying to piece it together when you tear pieces. But whatever.
To be honest, I don't know what difference would be because don't forget, Xavier Woods tore his Achilles heel.
He's still out.
The doctor told him it could take 20 minutes to do, but it could take him up to almost 2 years to heal to make it even feel better.
Yeah.
So it's like a 50-50. Because don't forget, John Cena tore his pectoral muscle off the fucking bone. And he was back like
2 months.
6 months in? Like 2 months in?
Yeah, because he got injured. That was like November. It was like, I think it was going into Survivor Series, and he was back for the Rumble.
Yeah, so I don't know how it works. I don't know if tearing the whole thing is better or tearing a piece of it. All I know is motherfuckers get hurt, they be gone for a year. Some niggas get hurt, they show up next week. I don't fucking know how this shit works no more.
Yeah.
Niggas' bodies are weird at this point. Yeah. I guess when you take steroids most of your life, your body just rebuilds a lot faster.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
How, Sway? You can't say allegedly because you got to think about it. Kurt Angle won the Olympics with a freaking broken neck, and then he finally told everybody that he was on some type of little kind of steroid when he did that.
He was also on he was on what, Valium, or was he popping Xan? I forgot what he was doing.
I think probably something. But all I know is that motherfucker said my neck hurt. I'm gonna pop 2 of these, and I'm about to go out here and win this shit.
And then he got to the point where he was taking like 64 a day.
That's the fucking crazy. I'm surprised he really haven't died from this shit. Like, him and Jeff Hardy, the most impressive people I know for taking these shits and not get hospitalized because they get hospitalized for like weird other shit, from like drinking and shit.
All right. Monday Night Raw. Retribution is now led by none other than the hacker, Mustafa Ali.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm okay with this. I'm so okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
Mustafa Ali got cut down from his little good run for Kofi Kingston to live the dream. So at this point now, I kind of see Mustafa Ali being a heel. I want to see what he got to say about this whole situation now, everything.
Yes, the exalted one, Mustafa Ali, not to be confused with the exalted one, Brody Lee.
Let me tell you, if Brody Lee would have named his group Rebellion and Mustafa Ali named his group Dark Order, it would fit them the right way.
The hand. They both do the fucking hand thing. That was the first thing that got me.
The only difference about it is Mustafa Ali been doing the hand thing before the Dark Order was even.
I know. Because he's been doing it basically since he came to the main roster.
I just want to know one thing: is the whole group gonna show up with palm gloves to light up now?
Well, I wouldn't be mad at that.
I wouldn't be either. I'm just happy the simple fact that he had a match with MVP, and MVP and Hurt Business was gonna whoop that ass, and they told him to come on and join us, and he ran out in the ring, and I'm like, oh, this nigga really about to go out here and really fight. Turn around and said, get him. I was like, oh, thank you WWE for finally doing something the correct way. Because hacker this whole time. You got Mustafa Ali telling no, and then the hacker is gone. Nobody gave a fuck no more. Yep. Then Rebellion comes. Nobody knows who the fuck is Rebellion. All of a sudden, you have Mustafa Ali finally reveals that. Y'all hit that so goddamn well. That was like that's probably the best new reaction thing since the Hardy Boys came back.
Yeah. Now notice they were saying CM Punk was the hacker. They were saying CM Punk was the leader of Retribution. Mustafa Ali is also from Chicago, like CM Punk. Did Punk whisper in his ear how to do this?
Hey man, look, Punk. Hey man, you know Punk. Punk got his way of talking to people. He will IM you on something if you're a wrestler that he got respect for. He will talk to you. Maybe he slid at Mustafa Ali or when he was home for a couple of months.
Now here's the other thing in this equation. Okay, first you had Apollo, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander. As a three-man group. Cedric Alexander goes and joins Hurt Business. Then they bring in Mustafa Ali for help. He reveals himself as the leader of Retribution. Apollo and Ricochet are now like, what the fuck? Everybody's bailing on us.
Now they out there in the sea like, hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, they sitting there looking like some suckers.
I'm gonna tell you right now what they need to do, and what everybody else is saying online what they need to do. They need to just go ahead and get Ricochet into the Hurt Business, just for the hell of it.
Okay.
Because you already got a powerhouse. You got a powerhouse in Bobby Lashley.
Yep.
You have the thinking mentality of MVP. Mm-hmm. You have the veteranship of Shelton Benjamin.
Yep.
You have the longevity of Kurt Alexander, because that motherfucker takes a fucking beating, and then you have the high flying and speed of Apollo. Basically, you have a whole man group. Everybody is good with something. Tag team wise, everybody can tag team everybody. It would be the best group, and then we would have 5 black men on one team to make the new nation. In my brain, but Hurt Business, we can go with that name. They can keep that.
Well, if they're going to do the Survivor Series match, they do need a 5th man in Hurt Business.
Besides, what you call it? Ricochet already got black and gold gear. He already wore it 2 times before in NXT. So shit, go ahead and reach in the trunk, go ahead and pull those back out.
Yep.
And then boom. Look at that. You got that, and you can have the Hurt Business versus Retribution, and then just leave Apollo Crews where Apollo Crews should be at. Back in NXT, where he should have been at to fucking stay there for them good ass matches.
Yeah, well, hit the music, sir. It's been real. Thank you for joining me today, Mr. Malcolm Carter.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It was nice to be here.
I've been Darth Messiah, and on behalf of the one, the only, the OG, triple OG, Alex D. motherfucking Heel, Happy New Year's and Merry Christmas from the Ultra Heelz.